Hello, people. We are back. A2TP podcast, episode 152. And we are back. It's your boy, International Walt, in the building.
It's your girl, Tasha, the co-host with the mostest.
And we back for another episode of Us. As I read off every week, you guys can catch us on Facebook, A2TPodcast.com, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Spotify, Amazon Music, Google Podcasts, Podcast Index, Podcast Addict, Podchaser, Player FM, iHeartRadio, and Apple Podcasts. So that's like a dozen platforms you can catch us on. So ain't no excuse. Let's get right to it. How are you?
I'm doing good. Men's
What you sucking on?
Tic Tacs.
Oh.
I love Tic Tacs. You know me, I keep a Tic Tac.
You're supposed to like lay them under your tongue and just let them chill there.
Yeah, I don't chew them. I do suck on them, but I never like lay them under my tongue. I'll try that.
Yeah, just let it lay there. Let it percolate.
Yeah. The white ones. We not giving Tic Tac no promo, but I like the white ones. Best.
I don't like anything mint. That shit makes me hungry.
Yeah, he can't eat mints.
Well, how you feel? What's going on?
I feel great. Mentally, I'm a 10.
Wow.
Feel really good. Yeah, I feel great. Blessed.
You a 10 in life or it's your hormones?
I'm a 10 despite my hormones.
Okay,
my hormones, can sometimes make me feel.
I didn't want you to be a 10 on default.
Nah, my hormones can make me feel all willy wonky and stuff. But I feel good. I feel great. I had a team meeting today, which all team like holiday luncheon type thing, and it was really good. Sometimes in life we all need reassurance, and just hearing my manager and my team members, reassure me in my new role felt good. Like, I feel like I do a hell of a good job because I really love my job and it's important to me. I don't think I ever had a job that I felt was important to me, not just in the sense of keeping my job, but in making a difference in the world.
Yes, you did.
And making a difference in the world?
Yeah. When you worked at ECFMG, you like that. Like all that J visa bullshit and visa this and visa that and helping doctors had the questions they had. You enjoyed that. I was with you. I mean, I know. You didn't enjoy it to this degree, but it was a job that you enjoyed.
Okay. I'll take that. Yeah.
I never seen you come home from that until that incident happened. I never seen you come home from that job like, I don't like what I'm doing.
You're right. And I experienced a lot of professional growth there. So, but this has thus far been, I think, my favorite position. So again, had a great day there. So mentally, I'm a 10. We're good. I'm good mentally. Yeah, it's all good. Financially, I'm a 10, blessed beyond measure, no complaints. The holiday time is here, and I know, that requires some money, but, I refuse to allow it to stress us, even though it can be stressful, but we'll get it more into that, I think. Then work is a 10. Work is great. I actually had an event that I attended at I don't want to say the place, but at a place that people go to where they need help. It's a soup kitchen. And it was an experience. Seeing people come in and the life situation that they are currently in, because for some don't feel that it's permanent. People can come out of a dark place, and working with them, and they are 45, 46 years old, the same age as my husband. Now I'm looking at this person across from me where if I seen them on the street, I would have thought they was 55. A lady, looking at this lady, and people, my friends, family, my loved ones, they kind of laugh at me because I really don't think there's any ugly people in the world. I'm looking at this lady across from me. She's 51 years old. I would have given her like 65 had I seen her walking down the street. But sitting there, I could see the youthfulness. Now, of course, 51 ain't young, but I could see the youthfulness in her face. And life had just lifed her. But, she was in good spirits. So, that's some of the things that I love about my job, just being able to help those in need. But it also is a reminder to be grateful for what you have in life, because you see people and it's like, by the grace of God, that could be me. Things that I've done in my past, things that have been done to me, could have found myself in a dark place like that. So just made me extremely grateful. Physically, I am a 9. And I'm taking it down a notch. I don't want to lie and say I'm a 10 to have 10s across the board, but I am experiencing some hand pain. That it's bothering me. It's bothering me. Had this issue back in the spring, summer. Thought it had kind of resolved it. It didn't really resolve itself. I had some treatment that helped mitigate the pain at the time, but it is coming back, and gotta take some action. Gotta do something about it. I don't know what yet. Ain't really down for no surgery or no downtime. I'm not looking forward to that. So I really don't know what the solution is, but I'm in pain, and I don't like being in pain because I don't like taking medicine. So it's like, okay, I have to find homeopathic ways, some sort of physical intervention for it. My husband, he rubs it sometimes, and it's like it's a nerve thing, and it's like, I don't know what the hell you did, but it shifted that nerve.
Motherfucking touch, girl. What you talking
it's your
about?
Touch, then, Daddy.
And to go back to what you were saying, I don't like to say that there's ugly people in the world either, but this is just jokes. But look at Brock Lesnar's daughter.
Yeah, but when I look at her, I don't think she's an ugly girl.
Babe, he's ugly. She's the spitting image of him.
I don't think Brock Lesnar is
ugly. He don't have no eyebrows.
Okay, but I don't think he's an ugly
man.
I don't think he's an ugly man. He's muscular, and actually, when he was younger, he was a very attractive man.
So there's nothing wrong with this picture.
She's very muscular. She's very masculine looking, but I don't think she's ugly.
Okay.
No, I don't think she's ugly.
Right.
She's very masculine looking because of her build, which it makes you think like, had she been a ballerina? Or a supermodel or something. Like, she did that to her physique. Right. You're not born like that. Like, what would she look like had she been a ballerina? And was much more slender. She's fit as hell, but was much more slender. Or even if she wasn't slender, if she was thick and curvaceous and not so stout, is that the word? Yeah. Did I make that up?
No.
Okay.
Stout, yeah.
Yeah. What would she look like? But looking at her face, her physical features, I don't think.
Do you mean that in women or just all people?
I think people in general. Like,
so when you saw like a Tyrone Hill back in the day, you didn't think like that's an ugly dude?
No, like I don't. It's something about like when I look at people, I see like their eyes, their skin, their bone structure, and I'm not saying it to be facetious. Like I think there are some people that are physically, when you look at them, you like they can look beautiful, but if I know like they're a mean person or they're mean spirited,
then you see the ugly.
They look less beautiful than visually just looking at a picture. But it's like if I'm around them, it's like she ain't
basically
that cute.
What you're saying is you see they ugly. But I get what you're saying. You don't want to call nobody ugly, but if all people are beautiful to you, and you saying when they act mean and shitty or they got something that's with them, it tones them down.
That I don't think they ugly.
Yeah, I know you don't think so,
beautiful.
But in essence, that's a transformation from one to the other. For me, anyway.
You don't look as beautiful,
right?
But I sit across from people often, and I'm talking about, and this is no disrespect to people. There were some smells that we had to endure, which is why another reason why I put the mask back in my bag. Where the smells, the grime, the dirt, the missing teeth, and it's like, damn, like when they were 17, he probably was a gorgeous young man out here.
Oh yeah,
lively.
That's always the case.
Yeah, or you see a young lady and you like, wow, at 25 years old, I could like picturing her laughing somewhere with friends. So it's I don't know. Maybe it is the eyes for me, and I'm not saying like, oh, I have some special power. But when I look at people,
you see people's inner beauty.
I really do. I've seen some people that was just like, wow, they're beautiful. Or you see a person that can look dirty, but you look at their skin, it's like, wow, they have beautiful skin.
What's your physical?
That's a 9, my hand.
Okay.
So I'm a 10, 10, 10, 9. How are you?
I am mentally, I'm a 9. I'm gonna go with a 9 for just being mental. I feel sharp. I feel good. I'm not, ain't got no strife. Mm-hmm. Finances, I'm gonna say is a 10. I'm just blessed. I'm blessed to not be one of the people that have to stress out Not that there's anything wrong. I mean, there is something wrong with that. I just don't want to say it in a negative connotation, but there's people who stress out around these times. And I'm just glad I'm in a position where I don't have to do so. Work is a 10. Work is great right now. Physicality, I feel like I am a 9. Hurting a little bit, hurt my knee at the gym, but, you know, I wore a short sleeve shirt specifically because she won't let me take my shirt off. But I just want y'all to see, you know, what's going on.
And speaking of work, did I make your work day better by coming to visit you?
You did. You came to see me in the middle of the day, but I don't like worlds colliding. That's what I don't like. Walt was getting upset because.
Please do not talk about yourself in third person.
This motherfucking heifer gonna call me from my car, like in the parking lot. Like what type of detective creep type? Like she said she was coming, but I'm thinking she'll call when she downstairs, like a professional or, you know, just a regular person, and not pull up and get in the person's car and then FaceTime them. Like that's I don't like the worlds colliding. I don't like it. I love you, but I don't like the worlds colliding.
I had to show you.
I can't pull up the fucking Hamilton or fucking New Brunswick. I mean, I could, but I'm not. To just see you in the parking lot and get in your car. I'm not with that. So that's how I am. What did I say? 9, 9, 10, 9.
No, you was a 10 at money, I thought. Oh, yeah. 9, 9, 10, 9. Okay, that's still a good day. What's your wows and woes for this week?
My wows and woes is, what happened? My woes is that my friend at work, I think I spoke about this before. You know how you have somebody at work or a friend in your life that won't listen. Like, you know, and everybody grown, everybody gonna make their own decisions, but you see this person just making infallible decision after decision after decision, and you just want to give them a little advice, not tell them what to do, but just give them a little advice, and they seem to take in what you say, but then they still do the same thing. It's like almost like you physically can see somebody like, I want to be. I don't think nobody wants to be stuck in a rut, but you know how people can get used to that. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I have a friend that's just, I've been trying to give some advice to on a daily basis about, you know, the things that he say he want, and he always says he wants, you know, like he just want to do better for himself, and you know, he don't necessarily make the best decisions, and I want to be there to support him in that, but it's frustrating.
Is there anything different that you could tell him that you haven't already told him?
No.
Well, stop telling him. Like, he knows, he's heard you. His ears have heard you. He has to process that information. It has to sink in, and he has to get it or not get it. But frustrating yourself by, if it's nothing different that you can do or say, don't. Wow. That would just be my advice. Don't.
That seemed to come really easy to you. Like, where'd you get that from? You need a nap or something? That was a good one. It was like, it's in the evening time.
Well, I've had some experience in trying to, and feeling like, because maybe you can't say for certain what somebody else wants, but feeling like you want more for someone than they want for themselves. But you can't frustrate yourself about that. At some point when you know, I've given you all that I have in terms of advice, suggestions, recommendations, inspiration, motivation, support, and there's nothing else I can say. At that point, when they start talking or venting about their problems, I was, okay, do you just want me to listen, or are you looking for a solution? Because I don't have any other solutions than what I've already given you. If you just want me to listen, then I turn off that trying to fix it or trying to think of a solution. They just want to vent. They just want to vent. And it's just like, okay. And then they'll realize, like, you're not saying the same things that you used to say. And they'll start to think about what you said to them before. And they'll process it themselves, because they'll realize, like, damn, he don't have nothing else to say. Yeah, because I already said everything that I had to say. It's nothing else that I can tell you different. You know now. At least you know what I have to say. If you got a different way, then fine, do it. But it ain't nothing else that I can share with you. So I'm not going to, that piece of bandwidth, I want back.
Right.
So.
Cool. I appreciate that.
Yep. Happy to help out.
What's your wows and woes?
What was your wow?
What was my wow? Just making it another week.
Okay.
Yeah, nothing special.
Yeah. Well, my woe is my hand. Because like I said, been through this, seen a doctor, and I ain't gonna dwell on it. You know, the doctor I just feel like I wasn't given the best treatment, and I sent them a note before I came up here just to let you know. I promise. I sent them a note and let them know.
Like a Yelp?
No, in the My Chart thing, okay. Saying that they never followed up with me from the last time. The pain in my hand is worsening, and I need them to call me and follow up. And what's next? Like, they requested an MRI, the insurance company denied it, so they didn't move forward. But either submit some more information to substantiate the need for an MRI, or what's next? You can't just forget about my hand. My hand is hurting, and I'm relying on you. And this further re-emphasizes why my job is so important to me, because I have great insurance that I pay for, and so I can just imagine the treatment that people get that, you know, have other, maybe not the same quality of insurance. So it just further, it makes me upset, because I have noticed, when we talked about this in the past, I have noticed a decline in the healthcare system that I used to hold at high regard for myself, because I have always had good insurance. But now even the good insurance ain't good anymore, and I've been complaining for a while now to you about the healthcare system, but I don't like it, and that's my wow. My wow is I went to the Beyonce Renaissance movie, and it was amazing. Not that I thought it would be anything less than amazing, but I think having gone to the concert, experienced it in person, I told him it kind of gave me that same vibe. Like, I always would say I want to go to an Eagles game. We went once years ago, but I want to like go again and be like closer. We were like in the 100 section, but I want to be like second row, 50-yard line. But he says no, the best place to watch the game is on TV. So this experience was kind of like, wow, the concert was amazing, but being able to sit in the theater, it kind of felt like I had a more up close and personal like view of everything, and it was just awesome. I thought it was going to feel a little redundant because of us going to the show, but it didn't.
I kind of thought it would just be a replay of the concert.
It was.
Either way, it would have worked.
Yeah, it was, in a sense, a replay, but it gave much more. I actually thought it was going to be more behind the scenes about the concert, which
a mixed in.
It was a mix.
Right? It wasn't like they picked one city.
It actually looked like I think they focused on like 3 cities, because on like certain scenes, the editing was immaculate, because it would show her doing a move, and it would like switch back and forth between like her doing that same song, but in different cities, obviously, because of different costumes. But it was so seamless. The editing was like, wow. So the behind the scenes just really show you her work ethic. It showed you like her, relationship with her with her daughter, being part of the show, but even with her family on a smaller level too, and some other pieces. And it gave you enough of the concert to like be excited and dancing and singing, and enough of the background, the behind the scenes stuff to like really fulfill that, okay, this is not just watching the concert on the movie screen, which would have been great too. It was a great mix. So that was just a wow. Thank you to my sister. I love a date, and I love when people think of me. Of course, my husband dates me weekly, but I love when people think of me to, invite me places, that's a love language, to be thought of. And, I appreciate my sister. We actually went to the because I think it was supposed to start December 1st, but we went November 30th. And people were complaining about, I don't want to go because I don't want people dancing around the theater and all that. I mean, to each his own. They said you were allowed to dance, just don't interrupt people. But there was none of that. And people were, this is the thing, I was singing, like not whispering, like I was singing. And I'm sure I wasn't the only one, but I couldn't hear anyone else because it was so loud. So it was like this, regardless of other people singing, it really wasn't disturbing anybody because the movie screened louder than all of us. So it was just a really good time. I seen some videos of people look like they were in there jamming. I wish that was kind of our vibe. It wasn't, you know, but we had a good time. I spilled my popcorn all over. My sister looked at me like I was a 6-year-old.
Are you serious?
I have a weird time in the movies there. Like, I had my coat, and because the inside is like satiny, it slid on the floor. So I freaked out trying to get my coat off the floor. Then I had the popcorn, so I was getting up, put the recliner down, the popcorn spilled, and she did like a real, this is my baby sister, she's grown, but she did like a real mom look. She barely looked at me and just shook her head like she was so disgusted. It was like on the recliner thing next to me, and I'm trying to, and it fall over, and I stopped and I looked at her. So if you're me and I'm her, she was like this. And just kept watching the movie and didn't even like turn all the way to look at me like, I'm not even going to pay attention to you. You're making a mess. Then at the end, I'm like, I want to get like a broom and sweep this up. I feel bad that I got to leave. She's like, let's go.
You're horrible, babe. You got to be watched.
You know, I don't even usually get movie theater popcorn.
No, we get popcorn when we go there, but I'm always like on you about, give me your popcorn. Sit down. Sit on your coat. And then I hand it to you because I know it'll fall the fuck over with you. You'll sit it down like it's a flat bottom, like it'll sit there and the shit will be crooked and fall over.
I am so skeevy about the movie theater. I'm happy now with this new age of having like the fake leather vinyl seats, because the cloth seats, I'm ready to put like a tarp over it, the germs on there. But even the vinyl seats, like, I'm just so skeevy about them. You gotta wipe them down. So when you
see the butter stains on them, you thinking, is that really butter? Like, what's that wet shiny spot?
Yeah, did somebody fart in this seat? Like, it's disgusting.
Somebody's ass was so wet it left a mark like at the
So when I'm like this, like, I don't want to move. I want to like minimize what I touch. I was just skeevy. And then when my jacket fell, I'm like, oh my God, I want to throw my jacket in the trash now. So yeah, but I had a great time. So that was my wow.
Okay. What we talking about? It's the holidays, and I just want to touch on the stress of the holiday season and how, for some people, it's a sad time. For some people, you know, people had deaths around the holidays. I love Christmas a lot, and I mean, my grandmother died around the end of October into November, and it kind of set the tone for the holidays of that year, and it kind of didn't, like, it hasn't hit me on me. I mean, I have a stocking in my house for her. I think about her every day around the holidays, but I still love Christmas. And there's a lot of people out there that when this time comes, these days don't mean the same to them because of their loved one passing, or, you know, it just being a tough, stressful season. People kind of beat themselves up about things that they can't do. And this really isn't the season for that. Like, I really believe that everybody on Christmas should at least have one gift, and no matter what it is. But even if you're opening a candle, somebody thought about you, and that's what I think the season is about: giving. And just everybody on earth, in my eyes, I think everybody should open one gift, and it's about giving and just being around your family. So that's what I think the season is, and I don't think people should get bummed out or stressed out because they can't, you know, buy fucking $1,000 hoodies or $2,000 iPads or, you know, $2,000 sneakers and all these kind of things that these kids want. Like, you know, let's speak to that a little bit.
I mean, it's one of the things that I always have struggled with. Like, even with us, I'm not going to say struggle. That's a really strong word. But even with us, it's like Christmas is one of those things where it's like Christmas, your birthday, it's always the same day, right? So you know it's coming December 25th. And I used to say to you, like, babe, why we always wait till the last minute to go shopping? Not that like money has been an issue, thank God, but it's like, okay, we end up spending this big bulk of money in December instead of like gradually planning towards that. And for other people too, it's like, okay, right after December, like the banks have what's called Christmas clubs. You start in October, I think September or October, and you put money in the Christmas club. It's like a savings account for you to take out in October to have spending money for. You can do a vacation club too, saving money for a specific event. Some banks have it. I know when I worked at the bank, I don't know if all banks still do it, but it was a thing. So I still say, you know, in my mind, it's like, why don't people just save because they know it's coming? But when we know the cost of living right now, times are hard. Food. I seen a meme that showed a shopping cart, like at the supermarket, said this is the most expensive vehicle on the market right now, because food is so expensive. So when you're talking about saving for Christmas versus buying groceries, saving for Christmas versus putting gas in your car, saving for Christmas versus making sure you have a home versus keeping your lights on versus, you know, all of those things, it can seem like, even if, let's say, you do good for a minute, you save $50, you know, every pay. That's $100 a month. So let's say by the time you get to June, you got $600. Your washing machine broke. What you about to do? Oh, that's coming out the Christmas money. Or something happened to your car. Yep. That's coming out. So I get that life likes people. So I don't want to be closed-minded and say, oh, people should just save for it. But I do think people have to realize, especially when it comes to kids, like,
because
it's one day.
That struggle you have between all those things you said, life and the washing machine broke and the car broke. But, you know, I just don't want to let my 4 kids down. Like, I just like that struggle. And you probably can't, like, really speak on that because you're not a parent. But just that, you know, I got 4 kids. I really didn't do much all year. But it's Christmas, and I want to get them the shit they've been asking for. Like, I want to do that. And as a parent, you start to struggle with that. Like, do I put this bill behind? It's people that actually do stuff like that. So,
I think it's the precedent that you set too.
Right.
Because, so today, you know, like I said, we had a team luncheon, and one of my team members, you know, she was saying her daughter is 14, 15-ish, actually 13-ish, because she's going to high school, I think. And she's, you know, she has an iPhone and she's in notes, and she's like, yeah, this is her Christmas list she sent to me. So, you know, iPhone is like this big, right?
Mm-hmm.
She scrolled up like 4 times. So I'm like, what? And we're all looking, I'm like, that's her.
If you scroll 4 times, you're talking about like 100 items.
So she's like, yeah, this is her Christmas. Now, she has 2 children. The one that's like 13 and one, he's like a baby, like 2. So she said, well, yeah, she said, this is her Christmas list, but her birthday is in January. So she said, you know, if she can't get all these things for Christmas, then her birthday is coming. And then she graduates school, you know, 8th grade in June. So I'm like, well, at least she's being reasonable and understanding. She's not getting all of this. Here are 3 occasions within a 6-month period. She's just letting you know these are some things she's interested in. So again, the expectation is not, Mom, I want all these things 3 weeks from now. But it's the precedent that you set. It's like when we grew up, my mom used to tell us, you know, I don't remember if it was 3 or 5. I'm thinking it was 3. Like, what's 3 things you really want? And she would do her best to get us those 3 things. And then it might be like some little ancillary trivial stuff, like a card game she found or a, you know, board game. Yeah. And another precedent she said is maybe like from family members we would get clothes. We never got clothes for Christmas. She used to always say, right after Christmas, everything's going to be on sale. And, you know, you're off from school until New Year's. So she would always say, we'll go shopping during that week so that by the time you go back to school, you'll have new clothes. But we knew we weren't getting clothes for Christmas because even though they would have Christmas sales leading up to Christmas, she would say it would be even a bigger sale right after Christmas.
It would be.
Yeah, so we always...
But that sucks as a kid, though, because it's like, as a
but
kid...
it didn't because
you say that from a perspective now. As a kid, it's like, okay, you don't have no reason, you don't have no choice but to accept it, but you would rather have your shit on Christmas morning.
No, not really, because, we had other stuff. It was just the clothes that we didn't have until afterwards. And we knew, like, okay, we going shopping this week right after Christmas, and we knew we were going to get them.
My upbringing was a little different. It was the total opposite. So we were told from January, you guys have $300-400 a piece. As life lifed and as months went on.
And mind you, your mom had 5 kids.
Right. That number went down. And in summertime, it was like $250. By the time October came, it was like $150. By the time Christmas came, it was like, I don't really have it. We got to pay the rent. And we knew we were getting a gang of clothes from Nana. So we knew whatever, we didn't wake up with anything that we wanted or asked for all year on Christmas at our house. We would be at Nana's house by 10 o'clock eating breakfast, and it was a boatload of clothes there. And then, we always also had some ancillary gifts and things like that.
Right.
But like a board game and shit like that. Football, basketball, all those kind of things. But our grandmother was the one who bought us like the clothes and shit. So we knew at Christmas morning, I'm going to go up there and have 6 sweaters, 2 coats, 4 pairs of jeans, 2 pairs of sneakers, like socks, drawers, long drawers, maybe a pair of pajamas, like all this shit. And you're like, damn, like a whole exchange of wardrobe from top to bottom.
Right.
So maybe that's how I feel. Like the thing that I wanted, I never really had on Christmas morning. It always was after. And the thing that I didn't really care for, like the clothes and shit like that, it was just like a sweater. Like, okay, yeah, they look nice, Nana, but it's a sweater. Like, it's not a remote control car.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's not a train set. But those things came after the fact. And then we had some good Christmases where I got the train set. I got the remote control car. You know what I mean?
At what age, okay, like you said, you had some good Christmases. At what age did you realize, like, damn, like my parents, my mom and parents, whatever, really don't have it, and like you notice like a change? Because I'll say for me, right, I can, and there's a picture circulating. I think I even have it on my phone or somewhere, an old picture, and I'm thinking I was 15, 16 because I'm imagining Sierra, so she's like 3 or 4, and just thinking about the quality of the gifts that I'm seeing her open, and like the Barbies might not have been like Barbie, or they might have been like Barbie's friends. And I'm not saying this to be smart, but as I'm sitting there and I'm looking at the stuff, I'm realizing like, okay, these probably not the toys from, I'm making this up because I don't know for sure, but these probably not the toys from Toys R Us. These look like they might have came from Family Dollar. There wasn't a Family Dollar back then, but in my mind, that's kind of how it looked. And I started thinking like,
like the doll babies you can press the face in?
Yeah, like in my mind, it was like, all right, Sierra, my sisters, they don't really know. But I'm looking at the stuff and it's like, Snow Christmas really isn't a big deal. So the luster of it kind of started going away from me. Because again, I started getting games and stuff where it's like, all right, this ain't Piction. And again, this isn't Pictionary. This is draw me a picture. Like...
Holy shit, I didn't know they had knockoff games.
Yeah, they got like games.
You sound like you talking about cereal.
No, they had things where it was like, okay, you could tell this is a knockoff of this. But again, you might have, 7, 8, 9, 10 things to unwrap. So it's not like you got 2 things, but you kind of started realizing the quality of the gifts are lesser. But I think at that time, I started realizing, like, my mom was doing it all by herself. Yes, my dad was there, but she was still doing it all by herself. And as I started just focusing on my sisters.
You realized that at that point?
I think like 15, 16 was when I realized it.
I think mine was just through sheer disappointment because we didn't get the knockoff stuff like that. It was just like either, the 5 things I promised you only could get 1, or what I promised you I can't get anything. So it was that was more of the, okay, maybe, you know, life is life and she really don't have it. It's 5 of us, you know, that kind of thing. I mean, again, we had something to open every Christmas, but it wasn't necessarily what we wanted.
Right. Now, did you ever get from your mom money as a gift?
No.
Yeah, that's something that I think is different now in this generation. Like, because even with our nieces and nephews, it'll be like, oh, you know,
a gift card is sufficient. That shit didn't exist when we were young.
But I mean, even cash, it like we never got a big. And I think like even when you said your mom would start with like a certain denomination that would be allocated for each of y'all, my mom never talked in those terms because it was like, I'm gonna make it work. Like, y'all not gonna know how much I spent, but let's just say, like, she might have made $250. That might be pushing it. But yeah, she might have made $250 stretch across 3 of us. We didn't know.
Probably do that.
Yeah, we didn't know, but it wasn't never a thing of like allocating money for each of us. Now, my grandma, you know, again, she would the clothes and stuff. When my grandma did the fly stuff, like the Billion Bay I had was from my grandma. The cross color outfits was from my grandma.
So
the used sets, the slick sets, I remember
Jordan sweatsuits. The Jordans, the rhinestone jackets.
I was gonna say the spray, the airbrushed and rhinestone jackets. When they had like the beaded chains with the names on it, she got the whole clique. Me, my sisters, my cousin.
Buckles. We had black leather belts with gold. The buckle with your name. I had one that said Jamar and one that said Walter. It was badass.
Yeah. So I mean that, but again, for today, I think the way that it's the precedent that parents set for kids. If you give them the mentality it's Christmas and they can get whatever they want, then that's what they're going to be looking for.
But what if you have a great kid who's been great all year and ain't been in trouble, and you want to do for him, and he or she actually deserves it, but shit is tight?
But when you say deserves what? Yeah, they deserve a nice Christmas.
Yeah, deserve
but
a nice Christmas. But
that don't mean that they deserve to have a nice Christmas and forego rent.
No, I'm not saying that. But if they're asking for a little bit more expensive things, do you think you just say hard line, fuck no? Or do you try to get those things? And I'm not talking about you should push bills back and not pay rent. But do you try to get those things because it's Christmas? You're I want to get, like, you're buying gifts for your kids. So it's like, I want to get you the thing you want. I don't want to, you don't want to ask for Monopoly and I come home with
Polymono.
Yeah, like some shit like that.
I mean, so
the little man is black with a mustache and not white. Like,
I think again, if you set realistic expectations to say, okay, give me 5 things you really want, or you know, ask them, write a list of 10 things you want.
What if it's a computer? I want some McQueen sneakers. I want a Mary hoodie.
I think that's the expectation. Like, I
want a PlayStation 5.
See, when you talk about that kind of stuff, like, I remember one time somebody had asked me if our nephew, like, this is when he was in high school. He's 20. He's about to be 20 now. Somebody had asked if he like the Louis Vuitton belts that like the young, and I'm like, I'm not going to say he doesn't know anything about that, but like, that's not even in his atmosphere to ask for stuff like that. And he gets nice clothes, but he knows
that's not
like
attainable.
Well, not that it's not like it's not realistic
for him. I mean,
so the Mary jeans, like even if we had kids, like that's not going to be part of your lifestyle, so you're not going to be asking for that. Like for me, I didn't start like again. We always had.
I disagree with that though. I think if we had a son, I think you would dress him fly. I'm not saying every day he would have on Balenciaga hoodies and Mary jeans, but you would buy him that shit, babe. If we had a son,
he would be dressed fly. He would be clean. He would be in style. But I wouldn't be able. I can't bring myself to buy that stuff. And you know I buy for myself.
Right.
I can't bring myself to buy that for myself. And I can.
But your baby would break you. Your little people, you would see the jeans in little people size, and you would be like, I'm getting these for him. I would see the little hoodie and be like, oh no, I'm getting this. You would see the little Balenciagas and be like, damn, they not 900, they 210. I'm getting these for him.
That blows my mind. When I see a sneaker for a kid, even our kids today, when I see a sneaker and it's like, $100, like, and I think to myself, Mace not gonna be able to fit these in 3 months.
I remember my nanny used to take us to get sneakers, and she used to go, nothing over $50. And it was like we walked out with a nice pair of Nikes, but under $50 or $50.
Yeah.
And if you got pissed off if you was like, Nana, these is 60. She gave you a little lip, but it was just $60, $10 more. It wasn't. We never got those $100 sneakers until later, until we got a little
That's
older.
what I mean. Like, there is a time and place for those, but I think the precedent you set for your kid, they'll know what's like, they'll know what's part of their lifestyle. Like, again, that's one thing that I love about our kids. Like, they love getting new stuff, whether it's, you know, I could, you know, send them 10 sweatsuits a piece from Old Navy, from Gap. They don't even know. I'm not going to say they don't know. But yeah, they don't care. They just like new stuff. They like it to be cute. They like it to be comfy. Like, they good. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's how they are. Yep. You?
Me what?
I was gonna say, like, anything else?
No.
Okay.
So I mean, it's not that simple. That why do people struggle with the just stress of it all? Why, if it's not that simple, just to be like, I'm making a hard line. There's a lot of people who struggle with the stress of Christmas, the stress of the holidays, and not just the sadness of it.
Well, I think it's society putting that pressure. And I hate to always go back to this.
You know, now, like,
social media.
These kids are getting, like, vacations for Christmas.
But
3-day vacations with you and 3 of your friends. Like, your parents are paying $6,000 for you to go to
but babe,
a vacation
when you say
destination.
These kids, who? That, like,
I'm
not
just,
the normal.
Again, like you just said, social media. So it's not like you're looking at stars kids. You're looking at, for quote unquote normal kids. I guess their parents are doing well enough to supply these things, but these aren't like Tom Cruise's kids or John Travolta's kids. These are kids on Instagram that's Mike, that's John, that's Jermaine, that's Tony. Like, and they get in this kind of shit.
I have so it's not like if I'm on here talking my timeline at all.
You don't do, like, you're not. You follow the people that you follow. Like, I
follow people that I know. Right. So that's what I'm saying. Who you don't? You follow people that are famous. So, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But I'm not talking about famous people, kids. I'm talking about, like, a regular kid.
Who, though? That's what
I don't know them, but it could be like a regular kid just showing off, like, this is what I'm doing for Christmas. This is what my mom is buying me, and this is what it costs. And me and my friends is going to Turks and Caicos or whatever.
Nah, you're not talking about a regular kid. You're talking about somebody whose financial status is well off. Their family may not be famous, but their financial status, that's not a regular kid. That's not the 98% of, well, I'm going to say 98%. I didn't say
it was 98%. I just said it's a kid I don't recognize to be anybody on social media.
Yeah, but I think most kids whose family comes from that income level where you're going to Turks and Caicos with 3 of your friends and your family's paying for it. First of all, most kids, they're not letting their kid travel to another country with another family. I think those people, they may not be famous, but they're from a different income level that are doing that kind of thing. I don't think that's the general public. I don't think it's
the general public. I was just speaking to some kids on Instagram. That's all I'm saying. I don't know who these kids are or what their status is in life or their parent status. But I know that they're not celebrity kids. So that's what I was speaking
I think
to.
They're from a different income level. I mean, the kids now, families may take vacation. I know a lot of families may do like Disney on not spring break, on winter break or something like that. Or they may do, I know there may be some families that do like the Bahamas or just a vacation. But to be bringing 3 of your friends and like I think that's not the norm. But I think, like you said, the pressure of the holiday, I think that comes from social media. People want to post. First of all, it starts with the decoration, which I love to see the trees and all that, but not just the decoration. Like when the gifts are wrapped and under the tree, now that's a content thing, right? Or if you're showing like the names of stores and bags, or the Gucci bags or Louis Vuitton or the Chanel boxes with the bow. So it's like each step is like oh, we got to show you this. Ooh, we got to show
That's
you this.
That's what causes this fucking stress.
Exactly. Trying to keep up with the Joneses instead of staying in your lane and being happy there. Like, that's not a bad thing to not, being able to show. That's why I have never been, you buy me some amazing gifts and I'm never like posting that stuff. One, it makes me uncomfortable to feel like it feels boastful.
It's braggadocious and it's corny from where we come from. The era where we come from, bragging about shit is corny.
Bragging about money, names, and all that kind of stuff. To me, it's just like, that's not me. I like, other people that do it, like, yeah, that's a nice gift. But when I think about most of the people who I am friends with, like my close friends, nobody does that. None of and I think, like, we're probably like-minded in that sense where we don't care about, not to say we don't care about nice things. We don't care about showing everybody that, right. But some people want you to see the bags and the boxes and where they shopped and how much they spent and all that. I'll say this.
When people put books in their house from like Vogue and things like that, Tom Ford, that's a part of that too.
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't say Vogue, but the name,
because like that shit just sitting on the table. Nobody's reading that shit.
But did you know that I've seen
and some of them aren't books.
Yeah, I was gonna say I've seen like a craft thing. Not even just that. Some of them are which is so disrespectful. No, some of them are other books that people have just changed the spine of the book to say a different name, but because they're piled and you can only see the spine.
So they turn like Little Women to Tom Ford. Like, that's fucking terrible.
And they'll put like contact paper over. And it's like how, materialistic are you?
Because you can just say, I'm into decor.
Yeah.
And kind of chalk that. Do you know anybody that, or have any friends or close friends that this season is sad for because of death?
I think yes, in a sense that not.
And I mean, like, to the point where it's like, I don't like this season at all because of this thing that happened, and I don't even fuck with it.
Not to that extent, but I do like. It's one of those things where when you look at a calendar year, so let's say somebody lost a loved one in May, and then you lost a father, then you got to go through those first. Oh, this is the first Christmas. Father's Day.
Right.
This is the first Thanksgiving. Then this is the first Christmas, the first New Year. So, and then you come back whenever their birthday is, then you come back to their anniversary of death. Now, so I think in that sense, there are some people. Now, who was it? Somebody I just saw the other day had posted something that was saying how much their dad loved the holiday, and that the fact that they weren't here was like, it was sad for them. But I can't think of anyone really close to me that's like is really impacted by Christmas per se, because of the loss of someone. But it's one of those things, like, even if you lost anyone any time of the year, the holiday time is a reminder, I think, because
you're supposed to get with family.
Family, exactly. So it's like when the family gets together, that person is not there. Or you have those specific memories of, I remember how, Christmas was. I remember how Thanksgiving was. So it's one of them things where it's like, I think the holidays are just hard. Every day is hard when you lose somebody you love, but the holidays more so because of that emphasis on family.
Right.
So yeah, I mean, my heart goes out to people that are impacted by loss, over the holiday season. And I always say to people, I hope you find more ways to smile than cry eventually as the time goes on.
Yeah. Not shout out to those people, but just
did I say shout out? I'm sorry.
No, I don't want to say that, but like hearts and hugs and love out to the people that's dealing with that kind of stress along the holiday season. And it's really, really hard for you. Especially if you just totally turned away from it. Like my wife said, find more things, or try to find more things to smile about than cry about. If you're not there, then you're just not there. I totally understand that. And just for the people out there who stress out about the gifts again, who stress out about the money, who go in debt, and then the new year come and you're not right, and trying to do all this catch up shit. Like, understand that you did that before. Like, that's what that is. Like, leading up to it, you know what that's going to be. And try not to, stress out and go about things different this year. If everybody got to get 2 gifts, everybody got to get 2 gifts. It's one day. The 26th is going to come. Bills are going to come. January is going to come, God willing. And you don't want to be behind because of one day.
And you know what? I'm gonna just say this too. When you was talking,
and it's about Jesus. God damn it! I mean, not to take his name in vain, but it's about Jesus.
When you were talking about, like, if the kid wants this or this, be honest with the kids. Like, even though I know you said you would have felt differently, and I don't remember. I know maybe we just got used to it, but I understood the fact that, okay, we're not getting clothes today, but we'll get them. And my mom always kept her promise on that. Like, we did end up getting, a bunch of new clothes before that first day of school. But it's funny because, I was going to say, be honest with the kids. If they want a PS5, I don't think they ever go on sale, right?
No, they one price. But what have you been telling them all year? I can't do it this year.
Just listen. Let them know, like, we're going to get it for you, right? But it's whatever it is. If they want this high power microscope, right? I used to always want a microscope. And I used to have
geek.
I used to look under the microscope and stuff. But, guess what? It's $150. But a couple days after Christmas, it's going to go on sale. And it's going to be $89. And then you can get something else with that. Or, like, I would appreciate that.
I've been told that before. And then after Christmas, it's like, oh, it ain't available. Now you gotta wait, and it don't come back until February or March. By that time you'd have fucking forgot about it, or something, life done happened, and you can't get it anyway. So it's like, again, I feel like if you can't get the 10 things the kid want, because this is, you want to get the kid something that they obviously need first and then want second, but one gift.
I disagree.
What?
I don't think Christmas should be about your needs. I think, like the t-shirts and socks and pajamas. I'm just saying, like,
those are things that you're going to get first. If your kid need underwear, you're not going to buy them a Mary hoodie first.
No, but what I'm saying is your kid shouldn't need, like, you should have been buying underwear in October, November, and on December 1st. Like, not like you're waiting for Christmas. I think Christmas is the time to get those, like you said.
What you want.
Yeah, what you want. It's like your birthday. Like, people will say, like, what do you need?
I'm not disagreeing with that. I'm not mad at that. I can go with that. It could be about the stuff you want. But again, if it has to be 1 or 2 things out of the 10 things you want, then it has to be that. And you find some way for it to be fly, it to be dope, but the kids understand. And even if they don't, fuck it. You run in the household. It is what it is. You gotta pay the mortgage. You gotta pay the mortgage in January. Yeah. So, pick which hard you want it to be.
It's like when dads would get socks and drawers and a robe and slippers for Father's Day. And it's like, okay, how many years you gonna buy dads this? And people are like, oh, dads always need this. But yeah, when it's a time to get a gift, you want it to be like, oh, this was thoughtful. This was something that, was nice. Not like my necessities, because hopefully my necessities are being fulfilled year round.
You're right. I can go with that. Like the thoughtfulness of a gift on Christmas is the best. Like I say, if you open up a candle from somebody that you don't expect a gift from, it means something, because it's like, damn, I was thought about. And I didn't even think I was getting anything from this person.
And that's, one of my favorite parts about like Christmas gifts and stuff that with us that we do, stocking stuffers. Because we know the little like trinket, not even so much trinkets, but we know like the little things that each other enjoys. So like,
do you think we gotta switch it up a little bit? The
like packs of like, the 6-packs that you'll buy me. I don't want to say what it is. Like, that's like a need, but it's like, I love that kind of stuff. So, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I don't think you need to switch it up then, because it's like, this is the stuff she likes, or this is the stuff he likes.
Yeah.
You throw that in there, you throw,
Mentos,
chapstick.
I like to be good. I like to be creative. So yeah.
You put something in there that's definitely gonna be usable.
You can do a lot with stocking stuffers. You can make that really really good. So.
You ain't learned shit, did you? Nope, you was dumb all week. I was dumb all week. I didn't learn nothing. I did learn something, but I forgot it.
So you didn't really learn it. You just heard it.
Yeah. I forgot.
Yeah, that's fine.
I don't want to say it because I don't want to butcher it because I could be wrong. Yeah. But I learned something.
Learn it this time.
Yeah, I'm going to learn it and then I'll have it.
Learn it good.
Yeah. Let's do some grams. 1, 2, 3. Gram 1. Boosie made some comments about his daughter, right? So his daughter is an older
young girl.
A young girl, but getting older. Old enough to have a boyfriend.
That's subjective though, because it's like, is she 14? Is she 19? I heard him, I wasn't 16. Sure. Okay.
I think she's 16. Okay. So let me just go on. I'm gonna go on the record and say she's 16. But his daughter wanted him to meet her dad. She wanted her dad to meet her boyfriend. So she was trying to like get them to meet, and she said, "Dad, I want you to meet my boyfriend. Be nice, all that kind of shit." And Boosie said, "When I meet him, all I'm gonna tell him is." You could cheat on her, but don't beat on her. And obviously, you know, Boosie with his comments, like, but as a dad saying that to your daughter, and then his explanation is one of, I stay out relationship shit. I stay out of shit that the matters of the heart. Now, if you put your hands on her, I'm going to show up at your door. But all the other shit, I stay out of. But when you word it like that to say, you can cheat on her, but don't beat on her, like, how do you think that comes off from a father?
I think it comes off as you giving permission for him not to treat your daughter right in terms of cheating on her. But I get what he's saying in terms of explanations. Basically, like, it's almost like he didn't finish his sentence.
I'm not going to show up for y'all arguing and beefing.
It's like
and shit.
He didn't finish his sentence. You can cheat on her and I don't care. Like, yeah, he doesn't want his daughter to get cheated on, but he's just saying, I don't care. That ain't my business. So you can cheat on her, unless I'm going to just put in parentheses, I don't care about that, but don't beat her because I will show up. So that's how, but it's like he Boosie. He just didn't finish the sentence. You got to read between the lines. He's not saying you can cheat on her, like giving the like, go ahead, break her heart, hurt her feelings, cheat on her. You can cheat on her. That ain't my business. That's what you're going to do. Y'all going to probably break up. Hopefully she got enough sense not to be with you, but that don't have nothing to do with it. But don't beat her because now I am involved. To do with me. Yeah, and you know he country.
But why not just say, I don't give a shit about what none of y'all do, but if you hit my daughter, I'm gonna be at
because you know he gotta make it rhyme. He gotta like put a tagline on it.
You can cheat on her, but don't beat on her. And it's like if your daughter hears that, like if your dad said that about you, meeting your boyfriend at 16 or 17, and he was like, "Listen, you hit my daughter, I'm gonna show up at your house and break your fucking neck, but all that other shit, you can cheat on her, but don't beat on her." Then like, how would you feel like? Oh my God, did he just say that? Or would you think, I understand?
I think I would ask the question for clarification. Like, Dad, why would you say that? And then he would kind of explain. I think that's the thing about social media too, that people see a tagline or hear a snippet and it's like, okay, don't you think it was more conversation? Don't you think his daughter probably said like, come on, Dad, why would you say that? Right. Blah, blah, blah. And they had more conversation.
I got what he meant behind it. Like, I'm not showing up for the bullshit. Y'all calling me because y'all arguing at 2 o'clock in the morning over some stupid shit. I ain't showing up for that. That's y'all relationship. But if you put your hands on her, you're going to see my face. Yeah. I get that. But it's just the wording.
The way he said it.
Like, what the fuck, bro?
You know how old people would, like, they got sayings and they would, like, kind of make them rhyme and all that. It's
but
like...
we talking like this nigga really got a 75-year-old soul or something.
He does. Like, a 75-year-old Louisiana soul, which makes it a different kind of soul. Like, he an old country man.
That is crazy.
Yeah. So, I mean, and Boosie always got, like, he always got something going on, you know.
Right.
He's just always out there. But talking about kids,
the potato to the fucking plate.
Exactly. Who brings their own food to the diner now? That's like going buy some eggs and bacon and taking it to the diner, asking them to make you a bacon, egg, and cheese sandwich. You should have just took this home. But talking about fathers and kids, Tyrese.
What about him?
Back in court, so he was trying to get a different judge assigned to his divorce proceedings. They said no, but he has been ordered to pay $10,000 a month in child support. So my question is this, right? I mean, I get you okay. you have a child, a man and a woman married, they have a child, or just together, they have a child. And people say, oh, well, you know, you've established this lifestyle for this child. If the mother has custody of the child and she's not able to, because that lifestyle could be, oh, they live in, let's just say they live in a $20 million mansion. They have a nanny, they have a butler, they have a driver, they have tutors, they go to private school, and now there's a divorce and you go live with the mom. I think people loosely lose this. Oh, you created a lifestyle that now I have to upkeep. Does that mean now you have to mirror what was happening here?
I don't think so. Fuck no. You can't take the lifestyle with you.
Right. So I think that people just throw that out there like, well, this is why they're getting so much money. Where I think, some women may disagree, I think that child support should be issued or ordered based on the reasonable cost of living. If you want to add a little something more, maybe, but the reasonable cost of living. And I don't know exactly what that is, but I think whatever the cost of living that it is to take care of a child, let's say cost of living for one child, I'm just going to say in the state of California, right?
Mm-hmm. It's one of the more expensive states.
Exactly. So I think if you're talking about it costs an average of $23,586 each year to raise a child in California, which comes out to $400,962. So when you talk about, let's just call that $24,000 a year, which is $2,000 a month. So let's just round it up and say 3,000, just, you know, for whatever. You mean to tell me if you have one child that you need $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 to take care of that child?
It's insane. It's they need to go at this another way, because child support should not be based on income. It should be based on the highest point which it takes to take the cost of living to take care of a child. If it's $23,000 in California, one of the more expensive states, if you made that $35,000 a year, which is like $3,000 a month, that's fine. You mean, like she said, you mean to tell me a kid can't eat for 30 days, whatever you're feeding them, like breakfast, lunch, and dinner for $3,500 a month? Like, the kid's not eating steak and sushi and calamari and shit. Like, so they eating what kids eat, juice boxes and shit like that. And when you was with him, like he even said, we never spent 20 grand or 10 grand a month on my daughter when we was with each other. Like, so why the fuck when you alone and you by yourself, you need this much money?
And I think what's happening, and I mean, I've never had, you know, to be in child support court or anything like that. I think when you factor in child support, that shouldn't include like housing, because you figure as a single woman, a child or not, you're going to pay for your housing. Now, let's say if a 1-bedroom apartment costs this amount, but because it's 2 bedrooms, your child needs their own bedroom, it's whatever that difference is, then okay, that's child support. Because this 1-bedroom you was going to afford by yourself for $1,800, but now if it's $2,200 for a 2-bedroom, that's $400.
Yeah, that has to be subsidized by child support.
Right. If you was going grocery shopping for let's say $400 a month for yourself, but now you got this kid you got to feed, so now it's $800 a month, like
that
double.
Should be said.
So that extra $400 a month is child support. It shouldn't be all of now when you're talking about bills and electricity and that kind of stuff. Yeah, the kids need lights and stuff like that, but I think you have to also think about at a certain point at what age. Like if this is a baby, they ain't running the water. Like, so I mean, it's just certain factors that I think, because too many women are relying on child support as a means of a lifestyle. Yeah. And it's I think
it's a lick.
It's insane the amount of money. Now, you know, if a man,
I don't give a fuck who you are. You don't need $10,000 a month to take care of a child.
And as a child starts getting older, and now you're talking about daycare or private school and that sort of thing, and it's reasonable. But I think also there should be some collaboration, because if you say, oh, I want my child to go to this school for kindergarten and it's $30,000 a year, I'm not supporting it. $30,000 a year for them to color and learn how to tie their shoes, like, I'm not supporting it. They're gonna be taking
fucking naps and shit. Man, you gotta be kidding me. $30,000 a year for kindergarten, like that? No, we don't. That's high end babysitting. That's not any type of development or anything like that.
So I think, you know, Tyrese, my Capricorn brother, who is super emotional, you know, I think he deserves some grace from the court, because and it may not even impact his lifestyle, you know, much in terms of his finances to pay $10,000. But I just think the precedent that has been set by some of these child support, and y'all might be like, girl, you ain't had no baby, and you're absolutely right. So I might feel different if my husband.
Give a fuck if you had a gold baby. It don't mean you need $10,000 a month to take care of it. I don't care. I stand on that.
That's a lot.
You don't need $10,000 a month to take care of a baby. Yeah. Like, you yourself probably don't spend $10,000 to take care of an adult.
Yourself, yeah.
Yeah, you're a fucking adult, and you know, it is ridiculous. Like, it should be. You should have to pay at the high end of whatever it costs to take care of a kid. And if you want to add 10% on that, do that. But $10,000, $100,000 a year, like, to take care of a 9-month-old, a 1-year-old, a 2-year-old, you insane. Like, that's insane.
Yeah, that's a corporate salary.
That's insane. Speaking about your Capricorn brother, how much do you believe in astrology and signs? How much stock do you put into Capricorns and Leos and compatibility and things like that? And also a 2-part question: if you were single, what sign would you not date?
So when it comes, like, I do believe that there is some truth in astrology, and some people might say this contradicts Christianity, but it doesn't. God doesn't say that, like, those things aren't real. It says that we should not rely on that. Like, we shouldn't allow we shouldn't put our faith into that and allow us that to direct us, because we should rely on God. We shouldn't rely on the psychics and fortune tellers and that kind of stuff. But it doesn't
say that shit's not real.
No, it doesn't say it doesn't say that they aren't real.
I think some mediums are real, and I think there's something to. I'm not into the rocks, the stars, the moon, the sun, the quasars, but I do think there's something in the signs.
That's what I'm saying.
And I believe that it is experience. That's just through life. People you might ask, what your birthday is, your sign, and you kind of get a baseline of how these people act and what their personalities are. I do believe that.
That's where I was going.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's why I was saying I do believe in it. I'm not reading I don't know when the last time I read my horoscope. With these different Capricorn pages and Leo pages and this kind of thing, I
think it was much simpler when you just got a newspaper and read
the horoscope.
But when you can go online and see 100 of them,
but it's not so much your horoscope. It's like more, but they all kind of blur together. Yeah. But like you said, there are some attributes to certain astrology signs that I know for sure, because I know like a cluster of people. I know a cluster of Cancers that are so similar. They have no, connection to each other, but are so similar. It's like
Tauruses.
Yep. Tauruses, the same thing.
Leos.
You know what? It's weird because
Capricorns the same way. I was always told my whole life Capricorns love hard. And I know how Leos love. We love hard too. And we're jealous. So those things are things that's in me. You love extremely hard. You're extremely sweet. So
we're very controlling. Yeah. People say like we're very business minded in the sense of just like not business as far as corporation, but being about our business, being more serious in a sense. Where some people
love to be in control.
It's definitely one of them things that is an attribute. Very emotional. It's crazy because
I wonder how many Capricorns play team sports. or have played team sports?
I bet you they play
and
a
is
lot.
it a struggle for them?
I bet you those who play are either probably, and I'm not saying this like, boastfully, they're probably the captains, or they play like individual sports like tennis, swimming, because we aren't great team. We can learn to be, but we have to be able to trust the leadership. If we're not the leader, you got to be a great leader for us to trust you. And we might give you a little bit of hell because we can come across as a know-it-all, but it's because we do know a lot. And we don't know it all.
Where the fuck that come from?
We do.
We do know a lot.
We are
based on who? What?
We are learners.
Okay.
We are learners.
Did you just make that up? Did you put a little sauce on that just now?
No, we are learners.
Do they really say that about the Capricorns? They learners, or you just saying that?
We are learners.
Okay.
So if I was single, the one astrology sign that I absolutely would not date would be Tauruses. It's too many that I know of that are so similar that I would not date a Taurus. And to be honest, I don't think I could date a Capricorn man. I think and I don't know any personally. I was about to say the
same thing. I don't think I could date a Leo
woman,
a woman, or a Taurus woman.
Yeah, a Capricorn man. Now it's funny because I don't know, and I don't even remember people before my husband, like in terms of like their personality and stuff like that. But my first 3 like boyfriends were all Virgos. I do remember that, and I don't. But again, I don't remember enough to know like what their personalities were or characteristics. Obviously we ain't together, so it wasn't a good match. But Capricorns and Leos, Michelle Obama and Barack Obama is a Capricorn and Leo combination.
They seem to be the signs that they say go together when you look at that kind of shit online, like what signs pair together the most.
Yeah.
I really don't know about the to me ancillary the signs. Like,
why are they ancillary?
Because I don't be knowing a lot of people who be like Scorpio or fucking
my mom's a Scorpio,
Aries and shit like that. Like I know a Aries or a Scorpio, but it's not a lot. I know a lot more Leos, a lot more Capricorns, a lot more Cancers, a lot more Tauruses. Like I don't know a lot of
there are some signs that
Libras. Like who fucking knows a Libra? I don't know a fucking Libra. What is a Libra? Like I never have no encounters with a Libra.
Babe, there are some people who, there are, like, you have, like, clusters of, like, people in your life that are certain. Like, I have clusters of Pisces.
Fucking Pisces. What's a Pisces?
Sierra, Maddie, and Mackenzie.
Okay.
Yeah, I have 3 cousins. We don't have a close relationship now, and one is deceased, unfortunately. But, like, I don't know, it just feels like it always was clusters in my life of people. So, Pisces, Cancers, we got Erica, Dink, and Mace, and then other friends that I had that all are Cancers, Leos, you and Toya, and growing up, Geneva, somebody who was really instrumental in my life was a Leo. So, but there are sometimes some people who they have those attributes, and this is where it loses me, because people will say, oh, this is your sign, but this is your moon sign. Like you got traits of other signs. That's where I don't know enough about that. And I don't really want to, but I know that. So to answer your question, yes, I do believe that there are attributes or certain astrological signs that are too similar to ignore, to say like, oh, that's just a coincidence that all these people are the same. Mm-hmm. But yeah, a Capricorn man, I just think, they may be we might be too serious, like, together.
A Leo woman, like,
nah,
we'd have like boxing every
y'all
Friday.
Being like roaring to see who can roar the loudest.
Like it's 8 o'clock Friday, get the gloves. Like, let's get this shit out for real, because it's beef.
And then there's some signs just that I like from experience, that not personal experience, like in a relationship, but like friends and stuff that I know are so laid back. It's like, while being in a relationship, that would drive me crazy. Sagittarius are very strong-willed.
Yeah.
But there's some that are very laid back where it'll be like, that'll drive me. Like, show me some emotion. Show me that you care. Like, they're just kind of aloof.
If I think of a girl real quick who I think is a Sagittarius would be like an Amanda Seales.
I wouldn't be surprised. I don't know, but I wouldn't be surprised.
I don't know either, but I was like, I think she would be. That's it. Let's do a wrap. Act 2 the podcast, episode 152. Coming to a wrap. It's your boy International Walt.
It's your girl Tosh, the co-host with the mostest.
And we on Facebook, act2thepodcast.com, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Spotify, Amazon Music, Google Podcasts, Podcast Index, Podcast Addict, Podchaser, Player FM, iHeart fucking Radio, and Apple Podcasts. We on all those platforms. What was that, like 12, 14? I don't know, something like that. But we on a dozen platforms. Make no excuse. Act 2 the podcast, episode 152. If you fuck with us, you fuck with us. If you don't, you should. Peace.